Oh, the sun's setting over the homestead. I'm gonna have a chat with you guys and just share the accomplishments we've had on the homestead and the projects we've completed and the projects we still have left to go. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Got a lot of projects done this year, and I promised I wouldn't start any new projects until I finished the old ones. Well, these old projects are getting done, and the homestead is moving forward. We're becoming more successful at just homesteading, raising livestock, growing food, just overall improvement of the homestead and overall success. Let's start with the chickens. When I was out doing my chores this evening, I noticed a hen had a newly hatched chick. She only has one chick, but hey, it's something. I've got another hen that has two chicks. So we're slow growing on the hens. It's okay. We'll get some chicken into freezer camp this year through the winter months, but right now it's growing. I mean, yeah, let's move back to the honeybees. Great success with honeybees this year. I bought 5 hives, 5 colonies from my buddy, and then I expanded. We got up to 10 colonies, and so I've lost one absconded, so now I'm down to 8. But that's still success. It's huge. So I'm 4 ahead of where I started. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry, my math is bad. 3. That's 3 more hives than I started with that I was able to grow my own. Rabbits. Oh my goodness. Great success at the rabbits. I bred 3 of my breeding does with 3 breeding bucks. And then in the bottom cage, I have a line from each of these sets. So I'm selling those as a breeding trio to a homesteader who wants to purchase a breeding set, buck and 2 does to start their homestead with. Because, you know, folks, we don't know what the economy is doing, and with the rumors in the wind right now, it doesn't look too good in the coming future. So I got a supply of rabbits here. We're growing these out. Several of them are going to my freezer and the rest are being sold. So I get way more than I need, but it's free food because when I sell the rabbit, I take the revenue and turn around and put it into rabbit feed. And so it lowers the cost of out-of-pocket expense that I have to put out for raising rabbits. And I sell enough of these guys, I can break even Steven, and maybe a little bit of a profit. Trying different methods to set up rodent traps and rodent killers and try to get rid of those pesky little critters. I'm getting a handle on it. Unfortunately, my wildlife cameras they malfunction. Don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to take them apart and see if I could jerry rig it and repair them. But right now I'm not getting any images to show you guys the success of these traps, but I can tell they're successful for the lack of destruction and turds being left by these nasty little rodents and the sounds of them scurrying about when I either walk into the barn or even walk into the tractor barn. Yeah, there was a colony in the tractor barn. And there's another project I built the tractor barn. That was great because I was gifted with this wonderful tractor and I wanted to protect it. And there's some other stuff in there I was gifted with, so we're just protecting that. But I purchased all new filters. I still have the fluids to get to, and I'm gonna do a full service on this tractor. We're gonna grease it, we're gonna oil it, we're gonna change filters, we're gonna change all the lubricants, and we're gonna stick with a regimen of what the book recommends on how often to change your fluids and your filters. I don't know that they've ever been changed, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that here soon. As soon as I get more revenue, I'll go down and buy the hydraulic fluid, the oils, the crank case oils and stuff. Antifreeze, yeah, we're changing everything, and I'm gonna make sure it's all maintained. I did loan my routine tiller to a friend of mine. It broke, but he's a welder, so he is gonna weld that back together for me. That thing, the tines broke loose from the drive axle. That's where I found out where the problem was. So all he has to do is weld it back on, and it should work fine for him. Once he's finished with it, I'll go ahead and get it with my flatbed trailer I built and bring it over here. And also my disc harrow that I loaned, I repaired and loaned to another friend. I've got to go fetch that as well. And then this is my resource pile. Hey folks, I'm not embarrassed by this at all. All this stuff was free. I didn't pay for any of it. It's free stuff, and it's a resource pile. I just happened to get all the resource piles spread throughout the homestead and put it together in one part. Now I have to organize my chaos. But I have a project. I am resourcing material that I have stockpiled here, and I'm going to build a big hutch or building to store the bees in for winter. We have a helicopter flying over right now with a bucket on it. They've been fighting the fires. There's a complex of fires 12 miles to the north of us. There's two complexes of fires. One's the closest flames are 12 miles north of us. The other complex is a little bit farther from us. And then we got the nation's largest fire burning on the other side of the Cascade Ranges over in the Klamath Basin. We're not affected by that at all, except for the smoke. That's all that affects us. My friend talked to me today from Salt Lake City, and she says, yeah, the air is thick with all that smoke from our area. So taking steps to make the homestead just as flame free as possible and also flame resistant as possible. And having goats does a wonderful job. My billy goats back here, they've cleared out their whole pasture. I've got 3 billy goats right now, and we'll be processing one for my freezer. Won't say which one it's going to be, but we'll be processing one here in about 2 to 3 months. We'll see. But that's what you do in a homestead. You raise your groceries, you process them, and you enjoy their flavors. More success with livestock. I managed to hatch several turkey eggs, and I ended up with, out of all those eggs that hatched, I ended up with 3 toms. So now I have 4 toms and a total of 3 jennies. So I'm going to be, or 3 boys. I don't think it's a tom yet. What is it? It's a Jake. It's a Jake until they're mature. I have 3 Jakes, 1 tom, and then I have 2 hens and 1 jenny. Yeah, it's a hen when she starts laying eggs, and I have one that has eggs that she likes to sit on in the nesting box inside. So we're going to have turkey this year for Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be selling some also to help pay for the feed that I bought for them. And I think this year I'll take mine down to the smokehouse and have it smoked. Yum. Additional success with the ducks, not so much the geese, but the ducks. I was able to hatch out 3 ducklings, and they grew up. So I've got, I ended up with females, no drakes. I have 1 drake and 5 ducks. And 1 duck is sitting on a nest in this nesting box. I set up these breeding pens here while I was letting the pond dry out. We're going to improve the breeding pens here. And I was able to score a couple of roadside treasures, some more of these little igloos, which are perfect for nesting boxes. They're more durable than these tote bags that I had set up from years past. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we'll have more ducklings. More a success on the homestead. And the goats were successfully bred. The goats, one had triplets. Unfortunately, one passed within a couple of days of being born. And the other one had twins. So we ended up with one boy and 3 girls. So girls sell really quick. Boys don't sell that well. Don't know why. But we're going to utilize them, and I'm using them right now to clear the acreage from vegetation, so it's going to be safe from fire and flames. And we were able to build this new barn because the other one burnt down. Luckily we were insured, so we got a nice improved barn. I'll be doing some more improvements on it. I'm adding some more features, a jerry rig in there. You guys will be you'll enjoy that once I get it together. Planted some grasses and clovers and other grass seeds vegetation down here in this area that I had mined some soil from for my front yard, and I've been watering it regularly, so the grasses are growing down here where you see the geese. That's going to be forage for the ducks and the geese, because the geese spend more time foraging than they do in the pond, and the ducks do spend more time in the pond than they do anywhere else. Got some stuff going on the homestead, the actual house. I need some repairs. I've got to paint my lattice that I built some years back, the lattice trellis, and then the lattice work under the deck. We got to repair that. Some animal tore that down. Don't know what the deal is with that, but I got to fix that and get it painted and make the homestead pretty. Yes, I have plans on planting my fruit trees that I purchased. I put them in the garden for now so they can get well watered. And then I'm gonna probably just hire my son and dig 4 great big holes out here to plant the orchard, because we're gonna plant the orchard in the backyard. We already have the fencing. I gotta improve this fencing. I just have to get 10 4x4 posts. Have you seen the price of lumber lately? Holy cow! I remember it was $9 a beam. I priced it today at $15 a beam now. Other successes and improvements on the homestead. I added a worm bin in the greenhouse. Yes, we got a greenhouse, and I was able to start my seeds indoors really early and get ahead start on my garden, and look at the results of my garden. I mean, I put these raised beds in. I use rabbit turds and chicken manure and worm castings. The garden is doing great. Probably one of the most successful gardens, no, second most successful garden I've ever had, because I did a 50-foot by 100-foot garden, all raised beds, over at Acorn Acres, and that thing grew like gangbusters. I used really good soil. I special ordered some soil from a local provider. I think I purchased 2 dump truck loads of it to fill raised beds. Man, we had such a great garden over there, but the soil's not too good here, so I have to do raised beds here. Yeah, but we're doing good as far as all the success is going. The repairs coming along, the activities I'm doing. Got a free RV given to me, gifted to me. It needed some repairs, so I just jumped into it and did some repair. I think maybe in the future I will sell it, so I want to get it real pretty and nice to be able to be presentable and sold. But for now, we're going to use it. I'm going to take it camping. And also, some of you know that I am an actor. I've been doing film acting lately. I just finished a movie. It's still in production, but that's coming out, and I've been offered another role in another movie, and it's on location at another spot. So that's why I'm making sure this RV is outfitted to suit my needs when I go on site, so I can take my own dressing room with, if you will, with me when we go film on set at another location. I know a little bit about the movie, don't know a whole lot about the movie, but I was offered a role and I asked them to send me a script. I'll look at it and I might be inclined to do it. At this point, I might be inclined to do it. We'll see. I did get into a project that I didn't anticipate. My engine on my Ford Thunderbird blew up. So we parked it over here. I went down and purchased a used engine, got it for real cheap, and used my flatbed trailer that I built to haul it. And I'll be doing an engine swap here in the coming months. I want the weather to cool down a little bit because I do not like working in the heat. It does this to me. But that flatbed trailer project, I did not intend to start that at all this year. That was a surprise that I even did that. I'm happy I did because that trailer has come in really useful. I mean, really useful. I'm really enjoying it. So what else do we have here on the homestead as far as successes? Oh, my blackberries, they're fruiting. I got to get out here and harvest blackberries. I got plenty of blackberry jam from last year. I think I'll try to make a blackberry wine this year. I'm networking with a vintner and we're going to be doing an episode on turning table grapes into wine, simply done. And we'll share that episode with you, and I'm going to learn how to do it with blackberries as well. If anything, I could just make blackberry cordial for the holidays. Well, I did make blackberry cordial last year. Oh, folks, it was delicious. It was nice. Well, that about does it on this backyard chat instead of the back porch swing chat. We just like wandered around the backyard. I was enjoying the coolness out here and just watching my animals and seeing how things are going. I am amazed on how successful overall the homestead has been this year. The projects I've completed, just in retrospect, when you look 2020 vision, hindsight, man, just standing here and looking back, a lot was accomplished, even though I had to do it at a slower pace because of my health. And speaking of my health, I had that health scare 2 weeks ago. I'm fine. Everything is okay. We're cool. Yes, that was scary. And biggest achievement, biggest success, I lost a bunch of weight and I feel so good. So I'll leave you guys with that. I'm Jerry Hansen, your host here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, becoming a successful hobby farm. We still keep it frugal, but the hobby in Hobby Farm is because this place is my hobby. I love what I'm doing here. I absolutely enjoy it. I don't look at anything as being tedious or a task or, redundant. Labor intensive. I enjoy the physical activity. If it's labor intensive, I enjoy it. It's like a workout at the gym. Even working out at a gym can be a hobby, but that's why the hobby in Hobby Farm is, because it's my dream. This is my dream, and I'm trying to make it happen. And you guys are coming along for the journey. Stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing, clicking that bell icon. That alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up, like the show. That helps the algorithm, Leave a comment or a compliment or a question. I try to get back in a timely manner. I've been so busy lately. So I've been running a little behind on my comments. I got caught up this morning. And also, be safe. Folks, always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next episode. I don't know what I'm going to do in the next episode. Most likely beekeeping. I got to extract some honey, take it into the camper, and because that's another reason why I finished that camper, is I had a safe place to put the honey extractor and work with honey without the honey bees. That was horrible. Bye-bye now.